What's up? I'm back. Got a new microphone this ride out, so hopefully things sound a little bit better than they usually do. But we will see. We shall see. Number one, a big thank you. I know in my last video I wanted to get up to 300 subscribers. It was like at 290 or something like that. And I think I got like 330 as of this morning. So you guys have far exceeded my expectations, and I do appreciate it. You know, please like, subscribe, notifications, all that junk. I do appreciate yada yada yada. Let's just get right into it. So, what am I going to talk about today? Well, I think by the title, I think you know, why I love my Ryker. And I do love it. I really do. Not for everybody, I understand that, but I don't know if you'll find this helpful, but I'll go into detail later as to why I think this thing is hella awesome and why I got this instead of something else. But I think first we're going to start out with story time, because maybe how I came to purchase this is a little unusual. I think it's August of 2020, those halcyon days before the nonsense, and I was at work. You know, I used to work midnights to 7 in the morning, give or take. So we and my driver were riding around, and I tell you, you know, he's driving, so I'm like, stop the car. He's like, what's going on? Nothing serious, don't worry about it. Just stop the car, back up, puts the car in park, we get out. Why? Because I see this unusual thing parked on the side of the road. Never seen it before. Looked really unique, and it definitely stood out to be able to see this pitch black lump of plastic and metal on the side of the road. So we get out of the car, we start walking around, and I'm looking at it, and I was hooked at that point. I said, this thing looks awesome. So took a whole bunch of pictures on my phone. Then we went about our business, and I just started Googling the shit out of this thing. Read up all on it. So checked my finances, cleared it with the wife. She definitely had a problem with me on 2 wheels. I think it was like a couple of days later, we went down to the dealership here on Staten Island, put some money down, ordered the damn thing. And it was, I picked it up October of 2020, yeah, October 2020. And it's a 2021 model, so it was just the basic stock Ryker. Hopped on it, and next thing I know, I'm just bought the helmet while I was there because I didn't have one, and then started driving home. I've never been on a test ride with this, never seen one other than parked on the side of the road, never spoke to anybody, but you know, that was like, what do you call that? Love at first sight, I guess, because I fell in love with this thing when I first saw it. You know, then I got mine, sat on it. The guy gave me that cursory, useless, here's how you turn it on, and I could get going, because you'd be surprised how many people sell these things that don't ride them. So, yeah, hopped on it, just started going down the street, and it's about maybe 2 or 3 miles, give or take, to get from the dealership to the highway. Goddamn roads suck here. So then I, like I said, I have 3 miles on this under my belt, and then I get to the highway, and now I have to make a decision: do I get on the highway, or just do I continue taking the streets back? And I got on the highway. And it's a bit of an ass-puckering moment, I'm not gonna lie. I haven't been on 2 wheels in quite some time. Not that it translates, but you know, it does take a little getting used to back out of the car and into the open, especially with the nut jobs in New York, because they don't know how to drive for shit. So I'm on the highway back to my house, you know, and that was it. Then the modding started, you know. So got the max mount. Yeah, I got the max mount was the first thing I purchased. The backrest was the second. The third was this top case I got behind me. I'll do a walk around later, so I'll show you all that crap and talk about it. And that was it. And I really haven't I haven't touched my car in quite some time after that. I've been practically riding one of my trikes every single day since then. If I don't have to drive my wife somewhere and I don't have to carry any packages and it fits in that thing on the trunk, that's where it goes. I don't take my car unless it's raining and I have to be somewhere. I've lived through one recall on the 21, and that was the wires in the fenders. Unfortunately, I was subjected to the problems of that prior to the recall, so I had fixed it prior to the recall, although it did take it back in and let them do whatever they were supposed to do. I told them as long as it doesn't compromise my fix, because I think my fix was a lot better, and the fix was literally nothing more than a bunch of zip ties. But so that was it. That the steering angle sensor and the recall on the fender wiring. Now I said I love it, and I gave it a story of how I came to purchase it, but I don't think I've said why. Well, right off the bat, it's hella awesome. You know, it just looks nice, and I know that's subjective. It's different, but I like the lines. I like the shape. I know. Okay. I can't really. It's subjective. You either like it, you hate it, or you're ambivalent. I personally like the power delivery of the CVT. It's the engines. This one and the one in the Spyder, these are buttery smooth. Buttery smooth. The CVT on this thing, it's power on delivery. And the fact that you don't have to shift, which some people do not like, and I get that, but it just means that when you apply power, it's smooth. It just comes on and comes on and comes on until it disappears. And that could be modified by, you know, pedal commanders and remapping this, that, and the other thing. You could squeeze a little bit more out of it. But the flip side of that is no one can reprogram the nanny. So you're always going to have the nanny. So no matter what you do, when you start getting into those curves and turns, it's going to choke. Just be mindful of that. Another thing I love about this thing, you can mod it. You can mod it. Some mods I don't particularly like mountain speakers and the lights and all that stuff. And from some of the experts I watch on YouTube, with this particular one, not the Spyder so much, but this one, you really don't want to be tapping into the electrical system. It's this does not have an alternator. The Spyder does. This thing is only supposed to really generate enough power to keep the battery charged to overcome the relatively low drain of the ignition system and maybe the headlights. So when you start putting on all these additives, electrical additives afterwards, I think you're just asking for trouble. You know, my mods have always, the only mods I've made to this were comfort and storage so far. The one mod that I would definitely recommend, especially if you have real shitty roads, is the sway bar. I'll tell you this much, when I changed the sway bar, that was like one of the first things I did. It made a world of difference. Unfortunately, it's very difficult to put in because you have to get the front of this Ryker up 24 inches to get the bar up and over, but it's definitely worth it. You know, if you just got this and you're telling me that it's squirrely, it does this, it does that, up the sway bar. That's all I gotta tell you. All right, let's go off-road. Yeah, okay, so that's those are the mods I made. See, if you had a rally this week, you could have some fun. Ah, shit on this stick. What's up?
You got the permit sticker?
No.
You can't be out here.
Okay, just make a U-turn. Thank you. Alright, so much for filming a video in here. Alright, so much for a nice backdrop to do the walk around. Guess I'll have to find another spot. I guess another thing that I really like of this, in contrast, not in spite of, but in contrast to two wheels, is this. Okay, so when you're on two wheels, the bike becomes an extension of you. And because of that, I think that's why people like the leaning and the shifting, because a motorcycle, a two-wheel motorcycle, will do anything you ask it to do within reason. So when you get on your bike and you're dialed in, you're having one of those days where, like I said, you and your motorcycle are one and the same, and you just feel like you could tackle any road, any situation. You get tucked down there and you just give it beans and you just go. You know, you get to that turn, little counter steering, dip into that turn, take it, boom, you're sideways. I get all that. I get all that. And you probably get that feeling because, like I said, you are one with the machine. And, you know, being that it's part, you get that feeling that it's part of your body and you can control it much like you control your arm, your hand, your foot, your leg, your head, whatever. The Ryker and the Spyder don't do that. They don't. Okay, I gotta put this into words. There are times when you do feel that connection, and it's psychological, but in the back of your head, the whole thing is like, this thing has a mind of its own. It's very bizarre. Like, you'll be going down the road, and especially with the ruts, it'll pull you this way, it'll push you this way. It feels planted, but it's like it has its mind of its own. All right? What this is like riding a horse. Okay? Yeah, that's a good analogy. It's like riding a horse. You're controlling something that has its own ideas of what it wants to do. You know, if you ever tried to ride a horse and it finds something tasty on the side there, and it's like you're telling it to go and it's eating. It's a lot like that. You know, you basically, you suggest what path you want this thing to take, and it'll decide how it's going to go about it. That's not to say it's not going to do what you want it to do, but only on very rare occasions do you get that feeling that you are tied to the machine and you are one with the machine. I think it's more of kin is like I said, like you're riding a horse and you're in tune with the horse. You know, you're giving the horse directions, it's doing what you want it to do, but it's maybe not as precise. You don't have the same controls Like when you get onto a motorcycle and you have to be in the right gear, the right angle, trail braking, not trail braking, and all that crap. But you don't have to really worry about that on here. So you just go. And then hopefully the machine and the design of the machine will pick up the slack of your control. I hope that makes sense, because it does to me. But I'm trying to put in a feeling and experience that you really only get when you're on it, and try to cast that out to people who've never ridden this thing. And then of course there's the nanny, which is, like I said, you're talking about a horse that has its own mind. The nanny is definitely its own ideas. I want to go around this corner. I'm going to tell you no. Nope. So in some ways it kind of almost thinks for itself, like an animal. But not in a bad way. Because another thing I'll say is that my love of this vehicle is not stat driven. I'm not going to sit here and quote, oh, it's got like 89 horsepower and 50 something, 60 something foot-pounds of torque. It's got a shaft drive and all that. Who gives a shit? It's not about the stats. Someone will always have better stats than you. This thing. I have never been wanting for power and speed. I just haven't. I don't need it. Don't want it. And I think its limitations for anyone with a modicum of sensibilities wouldn't miss it either. And that's the quirky thing about this. You can't take this to the edge of its abilities because the electronics will stop you. Nothing in life is perfect, because like I said, two wheels, with all things considered, very effortless maneuvering, but a lot more thinking. Yeah, I think that's that. Okay, that sounds like a true statement. Easy to control if you have the skills to do so, but managing throttle, brake, clutch, and speed all at the same time, that's a lot of thinking, but the effort required is very minimal, as opposed to this, where there's more effort involved but less thinking. If you just operate this with a modicum of common sense, that will overcome the deficit of skill, in my opinion. Because like I said, when it gets really bad, the bike will save you. Hopefully. Maybe. Don't want to find out. And if you're the type of person that's always bumping up against the nanny, I don't know. If you keep bumping up against it, maybe you're asking it to do too much. Maybe it's not for you. Maybe it's not for you. But it is for me, and that's why I love it. Well, that definitely threw the, you can see the little squiggly line saying that my, like right there. That's a perfect example. That was the VSS kicking in. Like you'll see it, there's like squiggly lines that says, nope, can't do this anymore, stop. Should I do it here? Yeah. We can do the walk around right here. Just take a look at this thing, bro. You can't tell me that this trike is not hella awesome. Obviously I customized it with the wrap around the fairings and the front deck. Maybe I'll go over what I've done to this since I bought it. Okay, first things first. Seat, backrest, max mount, the trunk, wrapped it, gauge guard, hand guard, mirrors, wind deflectors, tank bag, right down there, sway bar, and those hubcaps, those are nothing more than blackout plugs from a sink. And some stickers, obviously, as you could tell. I also have the windshield, but I have taken the windshield off for the summer, and I should really be putting it back on soon. Quad lock, and that's actually the piece of plastic right there. That piece of plastic right there, that's the that's off a Rally. So I bought the Rally fender to get that one piece, and I got the Rally fender sitting in my garage. And oh, here's another one right here. So that's an aftermarket parking brake lever, and it didn't come with it, but that's the parking brake lock. Oh, sorry, there's one more. There is one more. Heated grips. I got those off of Amazon, and they work really, really good. As far as future modifications, I'll be honest with you, I'm having a hankering to upgrade the suspension on this. Yeah, so I think we're gonna go with the Elkas at some point, maybe next year. So now with the 2024 model year, I think you could get this with the Sport model has the max mount. Me personally, I found it a little disconcerting riding this thing with just the seat without the max mount or the backrest, you know, because it does deliver power really hard, and you will feel like you're gonna fly off the back of this onto the back wheel. Like I said, it doesn't matter what angle you come at this from. It's awesome looking. You know, it also does have a good deal of front visibility. Okay, you got those two big ass headlights. Now, this model came with halogens. I've upgraded them to the LEDs. I should have mentioned that in the mod portion, but yeah, these got LEDs. The two on the fenders, those are factory LEDs. They're also the front turn signals. Why they decide to make this thing out of a plastic that can get attacked by gasoline is beyond me. Okay? Because your gas tank is right here. So when you fill that up, if you drip, which I have done in the past, you get that stain on the plastic, and it does not come out. It does not come out. So yeah, I don't think there are too many downsides. Stock, like I said, if you're not an overly aggressive driver, I don't think you'll ever have a problem with it. If it's what you want, it's what you want, then you will be good. Nothing to worry about. But if you're asking for more performance, more this, more that, then it was designed to give, you'll probably hate it in the long run. Okay.
All right, I gave you a brief walk around, told you why I love this thing. Hopefully set your expectations in the right direction. And like I said, this is coming from a guy who's like 12,000 miles on this. I think it's almost 20 on the Spyder. Not sponsored or anything like that, but if they want to call me, feel free. So, like I said, it's everything in life is opinion. I don't if you want the facts and the stats, they don't convey anything. They don't convey anything. It doesn't, you know, telling how many horsepower something is doesn't tell you how that power is delivered, how it feels. There's
That's all subjective. So that's why I'm trying to make these videos to give you a one-sided opinion, which is mine, for better or for worse. Yeah, so, okay. Okay, that's it. That's it for this, man. I've spoken enough. So, once again, if you like this, please like, subscribe, notifications, yada yada yada. I do appreciate it. Just kind of lets me know that I'm like doing a good job, or like you know, you're catching what I'm throwing. So thank you very much, and you guys ride safe, and I'll see you on the next one, whatever that happens to be. I don't know.